welcome back to my channel. I am your host Mosanali and you are watching Global Scope News. Today we have a very important topic to discuss. We will talk about Vice President Kamala Harris and her strong comments about Donald Trump. This is a serious issue that affected the country and the future. If you enjoy this video and want to hear more, please subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more news to you. Let's dive into the details of this story. On Wednesday, Kamala Harris stood outside the vice presidential residence in Washington, D.C. This is a significant place where the vice president lives and works. She gave a speech that was short but very powerful. In her speech, she attacked Donald Trump, who is her opponent in the upcoming presidential election. Harris used very strong language when describing Trump. She called him increasingly unhide and unstable. This means she believes Trump is not thinking clearly and is acting in a way what is unpredictable. This kind of language is very serious and shows that she sees Trump as a real danger to the country. Kamala Harris quoted John Kelly, who used to be Trump's chief of staff. A chief of staff is a very important position in the White House, and this person helps the president with many decisions. Kelly said that Trump fits the definition of a fascist. A fascist is someone who wants total control and often uses fear and violence to get what they want. Harris believes that Trump wants to have complete power over the government and doesn't respect the rules that are in place. This is a significant accusation because calling someone a fascist is not something that is taken lightly. It shows how worried Harris is about that Trump could do if he becomes a president again. During her speech, Harris highlighted that Trump has made many comments that show he admires dictators and authoritarian leaders. She specifically mentioned that he has spoken approvingly of Adolf Hitler. Hitler was a dictator who caused a lot of suffering and led to World War II. By mentioning Hitler, Harris is trying to show that Trump's behavior is very much similar to that of dangerous leaders in the history. This comparison is very shocking and is meant to make people think very seriously about the implications of Trump's leadership style. Later, during a town hall event on CNN, Harris was asked directly if she believes Trump is a fascist. She didn't hesitate to answer. She said, "Yes, I do." This is a very clear and direct statement. By saying this, she is taking a strong position against Trump and showing that she believes he is a real threat to American democracy. Many people in the audience were probably surprised by her boldness, and it emphasized her commitment to speaking out against what she sees as a dangerous trend in politics. After Harris made these comments, Trump reacted very quickly on social media. He posted on platforms like X and Truth Social, where he has a lot of followers in his posts. He claimed that Harris was losing the argument and that her comments were a sign of her desperation. Trump often uses social media to push back against criticism and to rally his supporters. He also accused Harris of raising her rhetoric to extreme levels, saying she was comparing him to Adolf Hitler. By forming her comments this way, Trump is trying to dismiss her claims as exaggerated and not based on reality. In political campaigns recently, especially during tight races like the 2024 presidential election, it's common for candidates to attack each other. This strategy is used to motivate supporters and disrupt the opponent's campaign. Harris' shift to a more aggressive stance against Trump is different from her earlier messages of hope and positivity. In the beginning of her campaign, she talked about joy and unity, but now she is highlighting the risks that came with Trump's leadership. During the Democratic Convention, Harris warned voters about the dangers of a Trump presidency. She said, she said that if Trump were to win, there would be no limits on his power. This means that he could make decisions without anyone being able to stop him, which could lead to harmful consequences for the country. However, at that time, Harris didn't strongly support the idea that Trump is a threat to democracy. She chose her words carefully to avoid being too aggressive. Political experts points out that Harris is now being very tactical in her approach. This means that she is thinking carefully about her strategy to win over voters. Everything she says is planned to make sure as many people as possible hear her message. By amplifying John Kerry's dark view on Trump, she is trying to reach voters who may be undecided or who are leaning towards the Democratic side. This shows that Harris understands the importance of building a broad coalitions of supporters. Harris' recent comments come at a time when her campaign is focusing on attracting independent voters and moderate Republicans. So, polls indicate that the race is very close, with neither candidates having a very clear advantage in crucial battleground states. These states are vital because they can determine the outcome of the election. Many voters in suburban Many voters in suburban areas around big cities such as Philadelphia and Detroit have traditionally supported Republicans. However, recent polls suggest that these voters are now unsure about whether they want to support Trump again, Harris. So, Harris' strategy is to create a large coalition of supporters by reaching out to those who are unhappy with Trump. She wants to convince these voters that she is a better choice for the country. For instance, a young independent voters from young independent voters from Nebraska said she has heard from former senior Republicans who now believe Trump is unfit for office. This can influence other voters who might feel the same way. However, there are concerns that some voters may be tired of hearing negative things about Trump. Denies Grace, a Republican strategist, believes that many voters have already made their decisions based on their feelings about Trump's personality. If people dislike Trump because of his behavior, they are likely already decided and will not change their minds. But for those voters who care more about policies and actual actions taken against Trump's presidency, they might still support him because they felt his administration was good for the country. As both Harris and Trump sharpen their attacks on each other, the political atmosphere is becoming more intense. During a recent tour of battleground states, Harris repeatedly warned voters about the potential consequences of a Trump presidency. She highlighted the risks of the important issues like healthcare, healthcare and the economy, and U.S. foreign policy. By focusing on these issues, Harris is trying to show voters that the stakes are high and that they need to consider the impact of their choices carefully. Harris believes that her role as vice president is to protect democracy and ensure that all voices are heard. She wants voters to understand that Trump's approach could harm and the principles that America stands for. This includes respecting the rules of law and valuing every citizen's rights. She is passionate about these issues and wants to inspire others to think about what kind of leadership they want in the future. As we move closer to the election, it's essential to think about these important issues. Harris' comments about Trump raise significant questions about leadership, power, and democracy in America. Many people are watching very closely to see how the political battle unfolds and what it means for the future of the country. So that's all for today's analysis. Thank you for joining me today on Global Scope News. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more updates. Until the next video, take care.